Hi, my name is Jordan Wright. I'm the orchestra director at Smarts Mill Middle School. Today's video is going to be about purchasing a budget instrument online. Now, I want to preface with, if you have the money to invest in a high quality instrument, you should not be looking online. You should be looking at local stores. However, this video is going to be for those who do not have a lot of money, who are on a budget, and find that rental is not an option for them. The first part of this video is going to be about things to avoid, especially on websites like Amazon. The second part of this video is going to be how to look for some high quality instruments and also things to look out for. We will be using things like Facebook Marketplace and online dealers such as shawmusic.com and musicandarts.com. We will also be looking at rental options that are local to Leesburg, Virginia. I hope you enjoy the video.
Okay, so whenever you go to buy something, a lot of the time, most of us will go immediately to Amazon for whatever we want to buy. And if you type in the word violin, this is what you're going to come across. So as you can see, the market is currently flooded with all of these violins. They all look pretty decent. I mean, most of them have shoulder rests in them, and the bow and the case and the strings, and you think, okay, well, must be everything that I need. I'm going to show you the most popular violin on Amazon, and it is this. It is called a Cecilio. This is the brand. And this is the most popular violin. Let's talk about why this is not a good option. So immediately, looking at the bridge, this is what holds the strings up, as you can see over here. It is not cut, meaning that there are no notches in it for the strings to go. Usually when you buy an instrument or you rent an instrument, there are notches in the bridge to show you exactly where the strings are supposed to lay, and they're supposed to evenly lay. So if you buy an instrument like this, you have to notch it yourself, which we don't do. Shoulder rest down here. These feet on this shoulder rest are usually very fiddly and not very strong or supportive. These strings up here are off-brand fake strings. They rust, they break easily, they sound extremely tinny. They're just not good at all. Down here at the bow, usually bows have a piece of leather, which is that black piece, and then at the top they have silver winding. The winding is supposed to be resistant to, sweat and water or anything else. It's supposed to be very resistant. But if you put your finger on this, over time your finger is going to turn green, and then that black is actually felt. It's not leather, and that is going to wear off as well. The horsehair on this bow is not actually horsehair. It is fake, so it will not hold rosin, which is this right over here. Rosin is what we put on bows to make them work. It's not going to work. It's going to sound really bad. Okay, coming over to the instrument. The pegs on this instrument are usually not cut correctly, so they are either incredibly difficult to turn or they always fall. They're always slipping. You can see already from the photo, the instrument looks very plasticky. You're not going to get a good sound out of this. It's just, your student is going to get very frustrated. And then the thing at the bottom, I mean, as you can see, this is a professional photo, and the bridge is already wonky. Those little 4 notches, those black notches, are the fine tuners, which is what we use to tune the instrument. On 99% of these instruments, they do not work. So your student will not be able to tune the instrument, and if they do work, they're going to be very difficult to turn, and they're going to hurt their fingers. The chin rest is usually not, which is that kind of pea-looking black piece at the bottom, is usually not very supportive and breaks off in time. So that's pretty much what you're looking at if you're buying something like this for $100. And then even some of these other ones, like this one. Again, off-brand strings. There's a tuner this time, which probably won't work. Again, you don't need 2 bows. They're giving you 2 bows because they know one of them is going to break. Shiny. Very, very, very shiny. Same thing with the fine tuners. Oh, look, you can get a black one. This is never good. Colored instruments. I've seen black. I've seen blue. I've seen green. They're always really bad. Yeah, so a word of advice, do not buy from Amazon. Never buy from Amazon. Now, if you, for example, do not want to rent an instrument, if you find that the monthly rental is too high and you say, I have to buy an instrument, I'm not renting, I'm not borrowing from the school, I want to buy, then let us look at some choices. Sometimes on Facebook, you can find decent quality instruments, you just need to know what to look for. The first thing to look for is name, the brand name. If you see anything locally within Leesburg that says Day Violins, that says Eastman, that says Strobel, those kind of name brands, that means that you're going to get something good. So let us look right now for one of those instruments. Glacial, also works. Let me try and find Ropes, that also works. Strobel, here we go, Strobel. So Strobel is from Eastman, which is a company who makes instruments. Usually they are rented from Music and Arts. They're a Music and Arts supplier. Okay, couple things. Well, I don't love the flower on this. Couple things. You can see that it's an actual bow. That bow probably is good metal. The case is very sturdy. It's got locks on it. It's got places to put the shoulder rest, which is right next to the head of the instrument. It's got places to put extra strings, rosin, and a tuner at the top. The fine tuners look good. Those strings are a brand called Prelude from D'Addario, and they sound quite good. So that's an example of a good instrument right there. If we go back up to the top, right here at the bottom of the violin, trying to find a good photo. At the bottom of the violin, you can see that the blue strings at the bottom are good. They are D'Addario strings. However, those fine tuners down there, they look too much like the Cecilio fine tuners. It just doesn't look very good. Inside, always good to see that there's a label inside. If your instrument does not have a label in it, that is a red flag. Bow down here doesn't have any leather, so I wouldn't buy something like this. If we look at this instrument, Eastman, this is a good instrument. Teller, Germany. If you see that a bridge has the name Teller on it, that's pretty good. If you look at the fine tuners here, we can see they're actually notched on the side, giving your student a better grip for tuning, and that's what you kind of want. Those are good fine tuners right there. Again, you can see that there's a name inside, and then the case is actually pretty decent. This is something not to buy, as you can see. We only have one fine tuner. If an instrument only has one fine tuner, usually that is reserved for students who are pretty advanced. I don't like how shiny it is, and I don't like how worn out it seems. Let's see, is there a... Okay, there's kind of a label inside, but it doesn't have a model number. It doesn't have anything else, and it's just very shiny. These strings do not look like a brand that I know of. And yeah, just too many scratches. Coming down. Don't like that the bridge is off. All in all, this doesn't look like... Oh, look, see, Fiddlerman. This doesn't look like a bad instrument at all. As you can see, it's got kind of everything in it. It's got rosin, it's got tuners, it's got everything you need. The bows are from a good company. I know the company. Fiddlerman is actually a website where you can buy a lot of these instruments. And this seems like a fine instrument, except for the bridge being off. That makes me worry a little bit. But overall, the fine tuners look good. The strings are D'Addario. Gaffino can be hit or miss. That can be hit or miss. That's not too bad. So again, things to look for. You want to make sure there's 4 fine tuners. You want to make sure that they have kind of, what's it called? Like edges on the fine tuner so it makes it easier to grip. You want to make sure that you can recognize the strings. So for example, blue strings at the bottom means the Dario Prelude strings, which are a great set of strings. If you see metal, completely silver metal fine tuners, they usually are not going to be very good to turn. You want to make sure that the bow looks decent. Any of this kind of stuff where it says antique or if it says Stradivarius, those are things that you want to avoid. Now this is a very nice violin. If you can ever find videos of people playing the violin, that is always great. Now let's talk about instruments from reputable sellers, This is Music-A-Lot. We have a local store that is about a 10-minute drive from our school. Let's go into here. Let's click student violins. Even though this is a reputable dealer, can't say that word today, there are still things that you want to look for. These are the names of the instruments that they sell. Do not get Bellafina. Whatever you do, do not get Bellafina. They are not very good. I don't understand why they sell them. They are not good. I'm very passionate about it. These are the 2 you want to try and focus on, Strobel and Eastman. So let's go. Let's get into the nitty-gritty of it. As you can see, prices are already higher. Because, again, this is not secondhand. This is from the dealer themselves. We have a Strobel violin. Again, Bellafina. No. We do not do Bellafina. We do not do instruments that have colors on them or print on them or anything like that. No. We do not do those. Not because, like, it's not really professional and you can't really take them on stage, but usually the wood, it's not real wood, you know? It's not real wood. Don't get them. Eastman, outfit, those are things you want to look for. They're fine, okay? Like, these Strobel instruments, these Strobel ones is different than the Eastman Strobels. They're fine. Would I buy this for a student who is looking to have this for the rest of their life? No, I wouldn't get one of these. I'd more likely get an Eastman, one of the Eastmans. They tend to be nicer. Let's go over to a seller that only sells string instruments. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to go beginning violins. Even with this website, even with this seller, you have to be careful of names. Franz Hoffman, wouldn't get them. Would not get this. You can already tell from the fine tuners, not very good. You can tell from the strings, not very good. This one's a little bit better. I recognize these strings, and I recognize the dealer of the bow. It's not too bad. But let's scroll. Get away from the Franz Hoffman. Get away. We don't want you. Okay, well, I guess they don't have... Let's go intermediate violins. How about that? Okay, this is a little better. The Carlo Lamberti Sonata violin. This is a little bit better. It's got a decent bow in it. That makes me happy. It's got decent strings on it. This makes me happy as well. BAM is a very good maker of cases, and this bow dealer is also very good. These dealers wouldn't put bows with their instruments if they didn't believe in them. These are looking nice. Yes, and this is where you start getting into the more expensive kind of thing. Okay, so let's say I have finally converted you to the life of rentals. Maybe you're thinking, maybe it's not a good idea to buy. Okay, this is a local rental place violin rental place. As you can see, this is just violin rental. They have other rentals, of course, but I recommend these guys because they are actual violin luthiers. They make their own instruments. I'm going to click on standard violin rental. As you can see, we're not made of plywood. Our top is, only the top is made of spruce, but the bottom is made of maple, which is what you want. You don't want the whole thing to be made. As you can see, D'Addario Prelude strings. You get a graphite bow, which is what we like. It's got all the information. It's lovely. We love it. It is up to you if you want to get a maintenance plan. Maintenance plans are pretty much for if your string breaks, is the bridge like cracks, rolling into stuff. If your child is very responsible with their things, then I don't think you need a plan like that. But if you know that your student is kind of a little bit of a klutz, then maybe get that. Same thing if we go back into music and arts. I usually don't recommend them as highly because they don't have like an on-site luthier in their stores, but you know, if you need to. So let's go to rent now. As you see, let's get rid of the liability. As you can see, this is what it covers. Covers, you know, anything that you might have to pay for. So periodic repairs and adjustments are required on most instruments. I don't know about that, but yes, I'll say that I'll pay out of pocket for right now. Okay, here's the keyword. $30 for your first month due today. Keyword is there you have it. So music and arts. So I would definitely choose one of these two places to rent from. Of course, there's other suppliers in the area. There's Encore Strings. There is, if you want to get really bougie, there's Potter's Violins. There's Bropes and stuff. But moral of the story, please rent your instrument until you feel prepared to pay at least $1,000 for a high quality instrument. There are very high quality instruments out there if you want to do digging and wait on Facebook to find some diamonds in the rough. However, I wouldn't. I would just wait. If you see an instrument and you go, oh, maybe this is good. Like, for example, if you click on this and you go, maybe this is good, and you want to email it to me, you're more than welcome to. I'll tell you if an instrument is a diamond in the rough or if you should just ignore it and move on.
I hope you found my video to be informative. Again, if you have the money to invest in a high quality instrument, you should be going to a local store. However, if you are on a budget, then use some of the tips that I talked about in this video and hopefully you will find a high quality instrument. If you're unsure, again, feel free to contact me directly. And if rental is an option, please look and visit your local rental shops with a luthier. Have a great day.